up spending till like 4 o'clock in the morning talking with Sean and Hunter.
Right.
And they were really, truly interested. And Shawn Michaels said, can I take your book? I had a whole book and video, and I was like, it's now or never, okay, take it. And I asked Hunter for his number to ask him some questions, and could we get together and let's discuss this further. And we swapped numbers, and before you know it, Shawn Michaels had taken this back to headquarters, to Vince, and in the meantime, Hunter and I started a friendship when he was home, and I started watching, and then when they were in town, I started going to the shows, and I met Vince.
What were your initial thoughts of Vince?
Yeah, I met Vince, but I started hanging out, and even at that point of not wanting a job, but as a friend to the friends that I started making.
Right. What were your initial thoughts of Vince when you first met him?
That's a very good question. What were my initial thoughts on meeting Vince? And
how did you get the call? I mean, you could answer the thoughts on Vince first, and then...
Well, I think what was happening is that, as I said, when they were close to town, at that point I figured I had an in or I didn't, but once I started becoming friends with them, I kind of didn't want to go that route of trying to get the job. I think, as a matter of fact, they were more pushing for me to get a job. And I was then backing off because they were my friends. They
Right.
started to become my friends, and I think that between Hunter and I, too, there was never a romantic innuendo at that point, but we both had a lot in common, and we both started training together and hanging out together, and, specifically did not get romantically involved, I think, because there was always kind of that, what are we both doing?
Right.
But so when I would go to watch Paul or Sean, specifically Paul, they would try to get Vince to come out and meet me, without my knowing. And I just sat back there and was there for him, And so Vince came out one day. It was probably maybe my 4th show. They were in town, and all of a sudden he comes out, and he said that, this is Joni, and I shook his hand, and he went, hello, how are you? How are you? Ha ha. Well, you certainly are in shape, aren't you? And that was it, and he took off, and so it was just like a brief hello. I didn't really know. I knew that Vince ran the company, but I didn't really know that, wrestling was professional wrestling was pretty much Vince McMahon.
Right.
And so I guess I wasn't nervous. I don't remember being... I think I was probably more put off by the fact that he didn't gush and ooze all over me. Because I expected that.
Right.
Not in a conceited way, but I was thinking, okay, here, I've got these people telling me now that so there's something really different. This is going to be
Pretty much
amazing.
no-sold you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. A stone poker face,
Right.
Very nice, very pleasant, and obviously an extreme presence, even the voice and the presence.
Right.
And the hair, and the, very handsome man, very, very professional, but then I was like, yeah, what are you doing? Now I'd say, you got a show to run or something? Because, he just met me, and that was it. But, the fact that he came out to meet me was obviously something at that time, but I didn't see that.
Right. So how did you get the call?
Well, shortly after that, Hunter would tell me, we've got to get you hired. I need this for my career, and